Well, good morning. It's Tom Kisak again. I'm here to deliver part four of the introduction to Jonathan's Tales, the tool for English language competency. I believe yesterday in the final video, we ended up talking about the suggested stages of learning, the so-called modus operandi. Reading the story, you will see, as I have mentioned, scattered or rather embedded in the text a superscript numbered note. Let me show you what I mean. This slide is the opening page of a quite wonderful story called The Parrot and the Woodpecker. The next slide illustrates from that story a page, and although you can't immediately see it on this presentation, if you zoom into it, you will see the numbered notes. And you can see here, the back of the book is again a page of the notations this time and the explanations. This particular story has 78 notations. Each tale in volume one commences at some stage in the narrative with a note one. Excuse me. And in some in volume one, there's between 20 and 30 notes. Indeed, one has 60 notes, in fact, 60 plus notes. In volume two, I have expanded this idea within the tales, within the 10 new tales, even further, with 7 out of the 10 tales having over 60 notations and 2 over 80. Each numbered note refers to a preceding idiom, phrase, saying, or proverb, or indeed fact. Back of the book, under each story title, are a list of the idioms, phrases with an explanation. The beauty of seeing Jonathan's Tales as an English language learning tool is that you enjoy the idioms and phrases, etc., in live action within the storytelling. Having once read the narrative and mulled over the text referring to the idiom, etc., one can then scoop to the back of the book and look up the meaning of each notation. In the next video I post, I will journey there. Excuse me. And may I declare that performing all 4 stages of the modus operandi we talked about, you are good to go. What I mean by that, what a thrill of delight and exceptional joy you will have the first time the idiom you've learned through Jonathan's Tales slips into your own real conversation. Just as an additional point about one of the 3 aims of Jonathan's Tale, that is education. There are across the notations explanations of many things, what I might loosely call facts. For example, note 10 in volume 1 refers to the Taj Mahal in India. The Dragon Queen makes her first maiden voyage riding on the dragon's back to this awesome palace, rated as one of the 7 wonders of the world. At the end of the book, under notation 10 for that tale, there is a paragraph on the history of this awesome place. These facts are all over Jonathan's Tales: scientific facts, historical facts, biological facts, geographical facts, poetry, song, and ditty, an explanation of foreign languages, mainly French and Latin, to mention a few. And they serve as a dual aim with the idioms, phrases, etc., as a tool of education. The final note, if you stayed the course of explanation yesterday and today, there is room for a philosophical one. Excuse me. In all walks of life, nothing comes easy. There is what some breezily comment, no free lunch. Well, there is an exception, actually. In my last, it is negated if you are born with a silver spoon in your mouth, that is, have opportunities through great wealth and birth. This latter idiom crops up across the tale several times, setting apart these lucky individuals with silver touching their palates. One cannot, if one desires to achieve anything in life, avoid hard work. It requires persistence and due application. And this slide says it all. Although I speak in a broad sense, I guarantee that coming to grips with the idioms, phrases, sayings, and proverbs in Jonathan's tales, you can and will in time become a rich speaker of the language which is my native tongue. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, to employ a famous phrase. I will actually, some might think strangely, begin my next video with a story in volume 2. It's a business aspect about it. I allowed the Vanity Fair print to produce and set the price for volume 1, and they set it quite high, but took charge of the release of volume 2 myself. The reason I took full charge, I could set the sale price much lower than volume 1. You can see by comparing the two volumes on Amazon. I have an intention to take back the rights of volume 1 very soon and set it at the price of volume 2. Once I do this, reset the price of volume 1, can happily employ several other idioms. All volumes will be on an equal footing. Bob's your uncle. There is one final comment to get a full value of what will be a de facto course of English language idioms through the many videos I'll be posting. Later, perhaps requiring a small subscription. I guess it goes without saying, in an ideal world, you would have the specific volume I'm working on as a hard copy in your hand. You can order volume 2 on Amazon or even request a signed copy from me at published price, as long as you pay the additional postage. However, the postage on Amazon in UK is free, so it might be counterintuitive to incur additional costs by ordering a signed copy directly from me. Concerning ordering from me, my email is tkisak4@gmail.com. If you would like to request a signed copy, just email me. That's it for now. Next week, I'll begin the real journey with you, exploring the richness of Jonathan's tales as an English language tool, using the book itself, and thereafter once a week. As a heads up, my next video, as I said, will spotlight Tales 3, Volume 2, and the initial notations of this comical tale, The Parrot and the Woodpecker. But I can assure you we will cover much more than just the initial notations, because many idioms will arise in the storytelling which I engage within the narrative. Now I have mentioned storytelling, I have one last confession before I leave today, and perhaps it gives due and honest historical indication of the genesis of Jonathan's tale. No, that is not a misprint or repetition of the word Genesis. Over many wonderful and exciting years, employed as a market and recruitment manager at London University, traveling across the world to education fairs, schools, and higher education establishments, presenting my courses proudly, globally, and lucky me, I did have one exceptional private indulgence, my very own modus vivendi, to refer back on our journey here. Each year I cocked an ear to my graduate students, graduate students' stories of their journey to graduation and impending future success in employment. And each year I use their stories as a grist to my future recruitment mill. And with that grist formulated exciting, magical tales of the graduate journeys to inspire the next generation to follow in my current graduate footsteps. Of course, I did tend to gild the lily a bit, employ a little bit of literary magic of my own, and inspire my current prospective student audience with imaginative dreams, dreams that recent graduates had made real, and they quite naturally declared they too can and must follow their own dreams in the same way. Enter stage right Jonathan's Tales, the transcendence in storytelling of my previous university experience. But in my defense, those many years back, how, as a recruitment manager, would I not look in the mouth of all my graduate successes and see her gift horse? It is in that scenario for many years I honed my storytelling skills. And that is the true genesis and flowering of Jonathan's Tales. So, until next week, have a wonderful week. Bye until then.